From an Easter egg nobody expected to something found after years, these are 25 secrets in video games. Guardians of the Galaxy was one of the most underrated games of 2021, and it's full of non-combat zones where you literally can't shoot. Well, if you're a psycho who loves to pull the trigger anyway, Star-Lord pulls out a different weapon. Over in Hitman Sapienza level, you could find a boat in the distance, which most players would ignore. It's just a decoration, right? But if you look even closer with the sniper rifle, there are 4 bells. Once you shoot them in order of their pitch, you have now doomed everyone on the ship. Gears of War 2 is just as random, but you have to be playing on insane difficulty to unlock it. When you head to this room in Act 4 Chapter 5, there's a pillar in the center. It doesn't look shootable, right? Well...
I was looking for this.
If you're wondering, yep, that's a toaster, and yes, it works.
Who wants toast?
Now in Spider-Man Miles Morales, there are so many iconic Easter eggs, but no one talks about Miles' neighbors. Outside his apartment building, you could use photo mode to look at the residence list and see Freddy and Jason covered in blood, Andy and Buzz from Toy Story, and then Waldo, who is hidden underneath a different name. I just love the detail. Moving to Rise Son of Rome, you would never believe this game is from 2013. But graphics aside, it's also full of secrets. If you hop on the Scorpio in Chapter 7, and then fire at these 2 pillars, all of a sudden, a huge Emperor Nero will appear out of nowhere.
God, this is so exciting!
If you thought that was strange, I'm about to bring up Family Guy, so you already know it's about to get 10 times weirder. And back to the multiverse, they wanted to make a farm realistic, so they threw in a cow being milked just a little too well.
Oh, I like it! Oh, that's so good!
Now this is a reference to the show, but let's be honest, the joke is funny even without the context. But I especially love Starfield's insane attention to detail. On Mars, you can find a live counter of how many hours have gone by without an incident. It's a funny decoration for anyone who isn't a psycho. Now if you hate playing by the rules, you can easily pull out your gun and cause a huge scene, only to look up and the counter has instantly reset to 0. Back in 2020, Left 4 Dead 2 got a new update called The Last Stand and completely remade a classic survival map from the first game. This time around though, every person who worked on the update got to add their own Easter egg. One of the best is hidden in an incredibly secret room that can only be accessed with a melee weapon. Hit the door repeatedly and it'll break open, revealing a dead developer. This guy was so overworked it became too much, and he's surrounded by the credits of everyone who helped make the update. And so yeah, I guess you could say they left this guy for dead. Alright, that was a little cringe. Let's move on to Hitman 2, which has an amazing secret. In the Ark Society mission, you can find a side character who's a famous treasure hunter. This is Blake Nathaniel, who has enough power to command the butlers around, and that is exactly what you need. Use this disguise to lead the butler into the freezer and then lock him inside. He says,
"Exactly what happened to Cousin Winston."
Which is a reference to Tomb Raider 2. As Lara Croft, you can lock her butler Winston in the freezer too. Not to mention, once you've done this in Hitman, you unlock a secret escape that lets you dolphin dive just like Lara Croft. Watch Dogs 2 has a suspicious looking car in Lakeside Park. It's locked behind a gate, but once you get in there, you'll realize this is a parody of the famous Jeep from Jurassic Park. Maybe you're thinking it's a coincidence, right? Beat the horn. Another great secret involves the wedding dress in Super Mario Odyssey. It seems like a funny outfit to wear with no real consequences, but if you go up to Luigi while wearing it, he takes it seriously. Bro, you're getting married and you didn't tell me? But first we have to talk about Factor, the sponsor of today's video. Lately I've been finding myself too busy to be eating healthy. The chopping, prepping, going to the grocery store, it's too much. Well, that's when I learned about Factor's fresh, never frozen meals that literally take 2 minutes to make. I'm a little bit of a picky eater, but when you have 34 weekly meals to choose from, I really don't find myself struggling to hit 3 meals a day anymore. These meals have real nutritional value, and trust me when I say you'll still get the flavor you deserve when eating. Choose how you want to eat and replenish your snack supply with an assortment of 45 plus add-ons, including breakfast items like delicious apple cinnamon pancakes, bacon and cheddar egg bites, and potato bacon egg breakfast skillets. Or for an easy wellness boost, try refreshing beverage options like cold pressed juices, shakes, and smoothies. I never thought I was a juice type of person, but not bad. You can also keep your energy up with lunch to go. Effortless wholesome meals like grain bowls and salad toppers that are ready to eat when you're on the go. No microwave required. If you're interested, make sure to go to factor75.com or click the link below and use code T5G50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. But now, back to the video. FNAF Security Breach recently got a huge update, the Ruin DLC. As you're exploring the abandoned plaza on your own, there's a scene where Cassie nearly gets crushed by an elevator, and her reaction might sound familiar.
That was too close. I was almost a Cassie sandwich.
If you played Resident Evil, you'll know exactly what this is referencing.
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
That's still not as funny as Crysis 2's Porta Potty. In the remaster, you can find this portable toilet, which is impressively bulletproof. It doesn't mean it's not occupied, though.
Come on, leave me alone!
So now if you're feeling extra cruel, you can even take this a step further.
I'm gonna find you!
That's just messed up. That's unlike Gears of War 5, which has a super relaxing Easter egg. If you wait long enough on this balcony in Act 2, you'll eventually see the world's tiniest ice skating routine. One of the smartest ways to stop people leaving the map is through hidden enemies. Instead of invisible walls, High on Life has sandworms that send you back in the boundaries. Yeah, not the kind of sandworm I was expecting. I can't tell if it's crying like a baby or if they're trying to do the voice from Dune. But over in Shadow Complex, the entire game has you on a rescue mission to save your girlfriend. She gets abducted near the start, and you gotta track her down. But right after that cutscene happens, you technically don't have to save her. I mean, just turn around, right? Head back to your car, and you'll unlock a secret ending where you basically admit it's not your problem.
Plenty of fish in the sea.
One of the strangest secrets is in Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway. In Chapter 4, there's a wall covered in bottles, and once you shoot all 5, it will summon your very own army of sheep. The best part is they're really dedicated to taking down enemies. Another explosive character is in The Suffering Ties That Bind. For a psychological horror, it's the last place you'd expect to find this Easter egg. If you head into the pawn shop bloody bathroom, there's a series of objects you can interact with, kinda like a cheat code. Whether it's flicking the lights or turning on the sink, once the code is activated, nothing happens. Well, that's until later in the level when you see a cracked wall. Yeah, it's the Kool-Aid Man if he was 70 years old and an alcoholic. And yes, you do get a reward for killing him, his cocktail stick, and trust me, this thing is insane. I think everyone could get behind a SpongeBob reference every now and then. One of my favorite Easter eggs is his idle animation in Truth or Square. But it's not just SpongeBob games where you'll find a secret. Head to the graveyard in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and you'll find a skeleton with a soda hat on. Of course, this is a reference to Smitty Werbenman Jensen, who was buried with a similar hat.
He was number 1!
Another underrated secret is in Black Ops 2. It has been so long since this game released that no one remembers the Simpsons Easter egg on Meltdown. Of course, this map is a power plant, and when you head to the control room, you'll find Homer's famous box of pink donuts on the panel. Now we have LEGO Marvel's Avengers, a game that went totally under the radar along with its details. If you pick the Hulk, you'll transform like this, which is to be expected unless you pick the 1977 version. Now his transformation is a layer of spray paint as a reference to the film's low budget. And to make it even better, he then gets hosed down by Stan Lee. And did you know that you could beat We Happy Few in literally 2 minutes? This game's story is all about not taking your pills, but you could just ignore that and swallow them down at the very beginning and boom, roll credits. If you choose to actually play the games you bought though, then check out Sin Episodes. Head down to the security room and use the desk to climb over the fence. Most people would have no idea you could do this, but there's no invisible wall, you can just walk right over. We'll turn the corner and you're rewarded with bobbleheads. It is the whole main cast vibing while staring right at you. And this really reminds me of one of the best secrets in Team Fortress 2. On the Rotunda map, you can find an exit door that's sealed shut. Well, that's unless you enable NoClip and head straight through. Who would have thought a blue heavy and red engineer would get along so well? Another secret that was found outside the map is in the Talos Principles DLC. Use this box, which looks suspiciously like a companion cube, and you can jump into a secret area. Up these stairs, you can now peek over the wall to find a turret from Portal.
Where am I? I must be in the wrong game.
Those were secrets in video games. It's been Tommy and keep it here on T5G.